You bought it for people you secretly resent. The watch, the car, the dinner you posted before tasting. Somewhere along the way, the audience stopped being you. It became half friends you would not call when life finally breaks. You keep performing for them anyway. Earning more, spending faster, still feeling that ache underneath the receipts. That ache has a name, and it is not greed. It is the soft fear of being seen as small. By the end of this, the chase will look clear. You will see who you have truly been performing for. You will see how to step off without shrinking, without shame, without giving up the nice things you love. The goal was never to stop enjoying your life. The goal is to enjoy it for your own reasons. Notice something strange next time you reach for your card. There is a face in your mind you rarely love. It is the cousin who always comments on everything, the coworker who measures you with one quick passing glance, the old classmate whose feed you scroll while pretending you don't. These ghosts walk with you into every store. You hand over money, and you also hand over power. You let people you tolerate set your peace. This is the quiet design of status spending. We translate our worth into a language strangers can read fast. A logo says competent, a car says ahead, a renovation says I am the kind who arrived. The problem is the audience never finishes watching. The performance has no final act, only a louder next scene. So the raise comes, and within weeks it is banished. Not into savings, but into a slightly upgraded same life. This is lifestyle inflation, and it feels invisible. Each new thing becomes the new floor, never the new ceiling. You do not feel any richer at all. You feel like someone with much more to maintain than before now. Maintenance is exhausting in a way nobody warned about. The car needs the wash, the image needs another update. Underneath the upgrade sits a question you rarely ask. Whose approval am I actually trying to buy right now? When you sit with it honestly, the list gets uncomfortable. Half are people you would not invite to dinner. Some are people you actively avoid. Others are figures from your past you swore you stopped caring about. Yet here you are, swiping the card in their honor, performing prosperity for an audience you do not even respect. That contradiction is not a personal flaw. It is how belonging was wired into us before we chose. As children, being included felt like survival itself. Standing out wrong could mean lunch alone or quiet exile. Your nervous system learned a simple rule early. Match the room, signal correctly, do not get left behind. That rule never really left you. It just upgraded its wardrobe and learned to read price tags. Now the playground is bigger, but the math is the same. Show belonging, so nobody asks if you actually belong. This is why status spending feels strangely urgent. You are not buying an object, you are buying small safety. A whisper that says, I am still acceptable. I've not been quietly demoted from the group. The trouble is that whisper fades within days. The new thing becomes ordinary, and the search begins again. Psychologists describe this fading thrill as a reset. Your mind adjusts to the new normal faster than your account. The first drive in the new car feels electric Monday. By Friday, it is just the thing parked outside. The watch you waited months for disappears onto your wrist. You stop noticing it like you stop noticing yourself. So the bar moves quietly upward, asking for the next hit. Not because you are shallow, but because systems run. This is the treadmill, and it is not just metaphor. It is the mechanism running underneath modern adult life. You run faster by earning more. The belt speeds up by costing more, and the finish line keeps moving. You are not losing the race. You are running on a machine that was never designed to end. Here's the part that quietly breaks people. The faster you run, the more you need the audience to clap. Because if nobody notices, what was all that running for? The performance needs witnesses, or the meaning collapses inward. So you post the trip, the meal, the keys, the view. You curate the highlight reel even while tired inside. And you scroll and see other reels exactly like yours. Everyone performing wealth for everyone else performing wealth. A whole economy of people impressing people they barely know. A generation comparing insides to carefully edited outsides. It is no wonder the feeling of behind never lifts. You measure your raw life against polished trailers, your bloopers against their final cuts, your ordinary Tuesday against the best 3 seconds of their year. This is the comparison drain, and it taxes more than money. It taxes attention, peace, and simple enjoyment. Let me ask you something gentle here. When was the last time you bought something purely because you wanted it? Not to post, not to mention, not to be seen carrying, just to enjoy without anyone in the world knowing. If that answer is hard to find, you are not broken. You are someone the attention economy worked well on. Take a moment and leave a comment below. Share one thing you bought for someone you don't respect. Your honesty might be exactly what another viewer needs today. Sometimes relief is knowing you are not alone here. Now back to the part that surprises most people. The audience you perform for is often largely imaginary. The cousin barely thinks about your kitchen renovation. The coworker forgot your new car within the same week. The old classmates scroll past your photo in 1 second. The judges in your head are not that attentive. You are spending real money for the attention of phantoms. Hours of work traded for glances that never happen. When that lands, something inside loosens a little. Not all at once, but enough to breathe differently in stores. If the audience is mostly imagined, the script can change. You get to ask, what would I buy unseen? That question is not about becoming cheap or denying yourself. It is about returning ownership of your wallet to you. You are the actual person who has to live inside every single choice. Nobody else carries that weight for you. Notice who the quietly happy people in your life are. They are rarely the ones with the loudest signals. They drive cars that have nothing left to prove. They wear clothes that fit their bodies more than feeds. Their homes feel comfortable in a way magazines cannot capture. Something settled lives there that money never quite buys. What they figured out is not a budgeting hack. It is a quieter recognition about whose approval they actually need. They narrowed the audience down to a very small list. A partner, a few real friends, maybe one family member. Everyone else became background, not judges. Once the judges left, the performance could finally end for them. You can do the same, slowly, without dramatic changes. Start by noticing the face in your mind before purchases. Ask quietly, would I still want this if unseen? Not as a strict rule, just as an honest check. Some things will pass that test and feel even better. Others will lose their shine the moment that audience disappears. Both answers are useful. Both quietly teach you who you have been shopping for all along this whole time. There is another quiet driver worth naming here. For many, this chase started long before adulthood began. If money caused arguments at home, you may equate more with safety. The spending is not vanity, it is armor. If your family did not quite belong, you may equate looking successful with being chosen. Receipts become tiny membership applications. If praised mainly for achievements, you may equate visible wins with being lovable. New things become evidence of worth. None of these stories are weakness. They are the natural fingerprints of where you came from, nothing more. Fingerprints can be noticed, and noticing changes their grip. Once you see the old story, the props lose power. You start asking, what would safety feel like without a logo? What would belonging feel like without any receipt? What would worthiness feel like without needing constant upgrades? These questions cost nothing and slowly return everything to you. Here is the freeing part most people miss entirely. Stepping off the treadmill is not the same as falling behind. It is choosing a different track with a different definition of forward. Peace counts as progress. Enough counts as success. You can still want nice things on this track. You can still enjoy beauty, comfort, taste, and craft fully. The difference is who chooses and why. The buyer is you, not the imagined crowd inside your head. The reason is delight, not defense. The goal is your life, not your image of your life. When you live like this, money starts behaving differently. It stops being a constant performance budget you keep refilling. It becomes a quiet tool serving the life you actually want. Less leak, more direction, more breath between purchases. The strange thing is, you end up enjoying more, not less, because attention finally lands on what you actually bought. The dinner finally gets tasted. The trip gets remembered properly. The home gets truly lived in instead of constantly staged. You stop renting your life to an audience and inhabit it. That is the real upgrade nobody sells you. None of this happens in a single afternoon. The treadmill ran for years, and your legs remember the rhythm. So be patient when you slip into old patterns. Catching yourself mid-step is already a kind of stepping off. You do not need to throw out your nice things. You do not need to announce a new minimalist identity. You just need to keep asking the quiet question, who is this really for, and do I actually like them? Over time, the answers reshape your spending without effort. The chase loses its grip because you finally saw it. What replaces it is not deprivation. It is a soft sense of enough that no purchase ever delivered. Enough is not a number in an account. It is a feeling you give yourself when you stop outsourcing worth. You can practice it on a Tuesday with cheap coffee. You can practice it in clothes already inside your closet. You can practice it in a quiet evening you do not photograph. Tiny rehearsals of a life needing no witnesses. If something here resonated, sit with it a moment. Notice what came up, what you would rather not admit. If moved, share one honest line in the comments. The person you performed for and whether they were worth it. Your words could help another viewer finally see their treadmill. We tend to wake up faster in good company. If this channel helped you see the chase a little clearer, consider subscribing. Tap the bell for the next reflection. These videos are quiet companions for anyone tired of running for strangers. We will keep making them while you watch. Next time you reach for something to impress, pause, picture them, and ask if their opinion has ever fed you. If the answer is no, you know what to do. Put it down or pick it up purely for yourself. Either way, the audience loses power the moment you remember it. You were always the only one watching who mattered. Welcome off the treadmill, friend. Your real life has been waiting here the whole time, exactly where you left it.